Welcome back. We're going to take the timing belts off today and hopefully put the new ones on and get this set up. So what we're going to do now is we don't have it set on top dead center yet because putting this tool to lock the crank most likely won't line up top dead center. So it really doesn't matter at this point. So we're going to go ahead. We took the screen off here. There's 4 bolts. You remove the screen and then you have to put this tool on there to lock the crank in. So we have to find a point on here. We're going to have to turn the crank bolt there and find an area where this fits in, because this only fits in a couple locations. So we're going to go ahead, line this up and install it, and then we're going to break the crank bolt loose and remove the bottom pulley here. This bottom pulley has to come off to get access to the belts. So that's what we're going to do right now. All right. All right, so we've got it in the position here. You can see this big open area here. This is where that plate's going to fit. You might have to fiddle around with that, turning the crank, but this is the area where you're supposed to slide this in. Where is that? Oh, okay. So you can see here, this should slide up in there. Here, turn a little bit, Mark. Right there. So you can see it's sitting in there, and then you install your bolts and lock it in. Now, like I said, this is not top dead center. I don't know where it's at. We're just going to break the crank bolt loose, and then we're going to take this plate off. So that's what we're doing. All right, so we've taken the crank pulley off. We're putting the bolt back in so we can rotate the motor. We're going to take our plate off now so we can rotate the motor and put it on top dead center. Here's our crank pulley. It looks nice. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and turn our motor over to top dead center. We're going to do that off cylinder number 1 on top and make sure it's on compression stroke, and then we'll lock the belts in and then take the belts off. All right, so we've got it set to top dead center, number 1 engine compression. Lines are lined up on both cams here. We're getting ready to break the 17mm nut here loose. So put our tool in here so we can adjust this. And then we're going to put this Allen wrench in here to lock this actuator in here. When we do that, we have our timing marks in back. You're not going to be able to see them, but we've got these timing marks lined up here and here and on the other side. So everything's looking good as far as being timed. Those are real bare to see. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and break the belts loose and put the new ones on. We've got the cams locked in, about ready to break the nut loose. Don't go crazy tight with these. You don't want to bend these gears. Just go enough to where they won't turn, but put them back as far as you can, because you don't want to put it just at the end here. You can bend it easier or damage it or whatever, but put it back as far as you can on both sides. And then, like I said, we're going to do one at a time. We're going to replace this unit here also on both sides. So like I said, we're going to do that right now. We've got the belt removed. We've got the actuator pinned. As you can see, we had a problem with it. The actual shaft in there had spun a little bit, so we had to relieve it. But you have to be real patient with it. It moves real slow, and if you try to force it, it'll lock up on you. So you have to adjust. The adjustments are really slow. So we've got it pinned, but we're going to go ahead and change this unit right now and proceed on. So we've got this removed. And here's the part number. This is on the passenger side. It's a 000157356. This is a Ferrari number. As you can see, that's what it looks like on both sides. The other one may have a dial rod or pin that you may have to remove. No, it's actually would be like in here in the emboss. We'll show you on the other one, but this is the one that we're going to be installing, and it's pinned array, so don't pull this pin out when you get it. Leave it in there. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and install this.
I'm sorry.
All right, we're torquing these up, change those out. We're torquing them to about 108 inch-pounds.
Yeah, I don't know if it's strong enough, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm already there.
Okay. So we've got our belt on, or one belt on. We've got it torqued up temporarily here, 50 Newton meters. We've got our clamps on there to kind of hold in place. We've got, like I said, this torque to 50 Newton meters. This pin should slide in freely for your initial check. I mean, we're going to go ahead and check the tension here in a second, but this pin, this is ideal here on how it should feel. You should have a gap here of 1.9 plus
or minus 2.3, I think. So
yeah, millimeters. So we should be good there. It's about the size of a dime or two, like right here. So as you can see, this belt is a lot tighter than the other one that we took off. And you can actually you can hear it. So we'll take the phone here. I can't show you because I'm using this phone also. And I'm going to use an app here. Easy Tension, I believe it's called. I'll put it down in the remarks on checking the frequency. All right? All right, so we've got both our belts on. We've got an initial tension on it. So we're going to run the motor through a couple times by hand and then recheck the tensions and see where they're at because they may loosen up a little bit. But as you can see, everything's still lined up. Our time marks are here that we made or someone else made are lined up. The cam shafts should be lined up.
The one down there
you can see there's a mark down here on the crank. It's kind of yellow. It's lined up. And then we marked on the pulleys here. They're lined up. So nothing moved while we were doing this. Like I said, we're going to pull it through a couple times by hand, make sure nothing moves, and then recheck everything. And then we should be done with the belts. All right, we've got our tensions done. Belts look good. All our marks line up.
Torques are set.
Torques are all set, and the back of the cams line up properly. So we're going to be good with this right now, and then put the covers back on and put the other belts on eventually. So we got some other things we're doing, so we may wait a while before we put the covers on. All right, so we've got our pulley on the crank. We're getting ready to torque it up. We have our tool back installed back here. What was that?
144
foot-pounds.
foot-pounds.
Yes. All right, so we're going to go ahead and torque that.